Morfanime. I'm your fan of more anime. How's everybody doing today? Today, we're going to be discussing one of my favorite characters, and I'm sure most every One Piece fan's favorite character, and that is Trafalgar Law. But most importantly, what is next for Law? What is next? What does he do now? He started the greatest union or an alliance. Is that the word? Alliance with Luffy that the One Piece world has ever seen. Until Big Mom and Kaido, of course, formed their alliance, which kind of took away the thunder of the Luffy, Law, Trafalgar alliance, which kind of kicked off the new world. Law really did kick off the new world. Fishman Island really just felt like hey, let's see what kind of abilities the Straw Hats have now. Let's see where they're at now. Let's check out their new outfits, their new looks, their new attacks. And once we got out of Fishman Island, it really felt like we were in the new world. We weren't just, seeing what the Straw Hats have been doing for 2 years. We actually kind of didn't learn all of it yet. I still don't know exactly the details in which the Straw Hats were trained over that 2-year period. Obviously, it wasn't enough to handle an emperor without a little extra. Zoro maybe, but not the rest of the crew. Luffy needed a little bit more hockey training and whatnot. But our boy Law, he had Punk Hazard. He kicked off the new world for us. His union with Luffy was so exciting, and it lasted very long. I mean, very long. I mean, there was points where I assumed that Law might just join the Straw Hats. There was a point where I thought that Law's crew was killed by one of the Yonko, and why Law was without them on Punk Hazard. I was like, what's going on here? Is he working for Caesar? Is he working for Blackbeard? Is he working for Doflamingo? What is happening? Is he pretend? I knew he was undercover, sort of, working with Caesar and whatnot pretty quickly, but it took a while before we found out the rest of his crew were at Zou waiting for him. Before that, I was like, oh shit. He's aligning himself with Luffy right now, but what if we find out later in a really sad way that Kaido's crew or Doflamingo's crew captured Law and his crew and killed everybody, including Beppo, and Law was the only one left, and all this crazy shiz happened during the 2-year time skip. None of that happened, by the way. But I assumed that might have happened because his crew wasn't to be seen until we got to Zou. And honestly, that's kind of crazy to think about, that a captain of an entire crew would be without his crew for such a long period of time. Like, could you imagine if Luffy, I guess he did do that for 2 years while he trained, so shit happens. Sometimes it happens. Luckily, Beppo, he knew how to get to Zou, and they had a place to meet up again. But still, could you imagine if Law had this really sad story where the reason he wanted to take out Kaido in particularly was because his crew was completely wiped out, and then at the end of Wano, he would join the Straw Hat crew, and it would feel natural. It's like he doesn't have a crew anymore. Luffy is obviously superior as a leader in a way, which is so weird because it seems like Law is actually one of the few captains that are actually strategic. Law is the doctor in his crew. He's one of the smartest members of his crew. He's obviously the most powerful member of his crew. His second, Beppo, really hasn't been much of a threat or much of help for Law in his venture. Most of his crew are kind of there for moral support. Poor guy really needs some members that can actually carry the weight that, the King of the Pirates needs. I don't think Law wants to be King of the Pirates, per se, but, he wouldn't say no to it if he happened to get all the information before Luffy and Kid did. Right now, we're on the end of the line for One Piece. We are on the road to Laugh Tale, and Law is the smartest captain, obviously. He is the smartest member between Kid, Law, and Luffy. Law is the one who decided, I'm going to go southeast while you all go the wrong direction, or northeast, whatever it was. I can't remember. It was in the last chapter. Either way, Law is going to be smart about this. Law isn't going to just run headfirst into a major battle like he had to every time he was with Luffy. There's a reason, I think, that Law's bounty, when they first met him at Sabaody, was so low compared to Luffy or Kid. I think Law took the easier route. He figured out ways to work smarter, not harder, whereas Kid and Luffy are kind of headstrong. Luffy luckily had Nami and Chopper and Nico Robin and some smart MFers. Even Sanji can be considered a strategic person in some aspects, but at least he had those big-brained players to help Luffy, get around certain situations and survive certain situations. Honestly, I think Kid, we don't know much about his crew. We really don't know much about Law's crew, and what makes me sad is I think what's next for Law is he's probably gonna end up running around behind the scenes, probably not ending up in any major battles for a while. We've spent a lot of time with Law. Law has been a de facto member of the Straw Hat crew. Law has made it clear he's sick and tired of the world government, the Marines, other pirates, Luffy. He's sick of these people thinking that he is Luffy's subordinate, and it's kind of, you had to have help with Kid to beat Big Mom. You're not the strongest member of the three, Titanic captains that are Luffy, Law, and Kid. I would say Luffy is numero uno. Kid would be number 2 in sheer power. And then Law has his hack devil fruit, his Opinomi devil fruit thingy, which has the craziest abilities, probably the strongest paramecia devil fruit in the entire One Piece universe. Please comment down below and let me know if you know of another devil fruit that's a paramecia that might be more overpowered than Law's devil fruit. Please comment down below, because I would like to know, because I think Law's is not only one of the coolest devil fruits, it's gotta be one of the strongest, and he utilizes it to its fullest potential against Big Mom, against Doflamingo. Law has been with us with some major moments. Law is very lucky. He's had a lot of the spotlight. He's one of the most popular characters in this entire series. If Oda drops the ball with Law, he will be an absolute idiot, and I know Oda is not, because Oda is the greatest manga writer of all time. He will not drop the ball with Law, and I am almost certain that Oda has plans for Law going forward. Yes, we usually focus on what the Straw Hats are doing, so more than likely we're going to see a lot of what Law and Kid are doing in the cover stories or in the newspaper chapters, where they look at the current newspaper and what's going on outside of their peripheral. It's been a while, since we got to see some of these damn newspapers. And I feel like we're going to be seeing Law, Kid, and of course Luffy in them over and over again until the end of the series. But I think that Law is going to get stronger. One, I think Law does want to uncover the secret of the Will of D, and of course these ancient weapons, and of course figure out what the One Piece is. Because I assume they're all connected. All the questions that Law is asking, whether or not he really wants to be the king of the pirates, might lead him to becoming the de facto king of the pirates. If at the end of the series Law became king of the pirates and maybe Luffy died or something terrible happened to most of the Straw Hat crew and Luffy wasn't able to actually fulfill that dream, but he still, got to live his dream going on a big adventure, we'd all be satisfied with that ending. It'd be sad and emotional. But Law becoming de facto king of the pirates, a good ruler of the pirates, would be fine. It doesn't seem like his numero uno plan, so it wouldn't be the best ending as in who would be king of the pirates, but I don't think I would be mad. I wouldn't be mad with that decision. There's 5 top contenders for king of the pirates right now. Luffy, Law, Kid, Buggy, really, really working his way up there really fast. And Blackbeard. These 5 have the biggest opportunity. I don't think we're going to see Kaido and Big Mom do anything big after this, but I could be completely wrong. But these 5, it's going to be one of these 5. I would be absolutely shocked if it was anybody else other than these 5. The only other... I completely am going to retract that statement because there's also Shanks, Crocodile, who has the least chance of that happening for him, but maybe, and Hawkeye Mihawk. Yeah, I mean, obviously Hawkeye Mihawk has a chance to become King of the Pirates, but I would say that Law, out of all of them, other than Luffy, probably has one of the best chances. Buggy, like I said, is working his ass up there quickly. I highly doubt Oda's going to give it to Blackbeard, but maybe. Oda has surprised me a lot in these last few chapters that have come out, and I really don't know where he's going with the story, but I can assume a few things. I mean, Law's probably going to end up in a major battle. I don't think that Law cares about being an emperor of the sea, nor, like I said, cares about being the king of the pirates. Will he do it if it's, just happens to him when he solves these questions? Yeah, why not? If the newspaper says he's this or that, he's like, cool, whatever. I was a Shichibukai for a hot minute and did really little with that other than keep the government off my ass until I met with the Straw Hat Gang and then started the Ultimate Alliance. Law's got to get out there on his own. Law needs to find new companions. Or we need to give some screen time that was not given to his crew at all during this entire alliance. It shouldn't even been called the Heart Pirate, Straw Hat Pirate Alliance or whatever. It should have just been like Law is going to help the Straw Hat crew and his crew will be there, but they're really going to be in the background doing random shit or nothing at all. And I'm sure they did some stuff that we just don't know about, that obviously without the numbers, they would have been overwhelmed. And having Law's crew there, maybe a couple of them died that we just didn't know because we really don't know much of them. The only one I really know of is Beppo, and of course the 2 other guys that hang out with Beppo, but they don't do anything either. So Beppo really has the only chance, and then there's that slave pirate that he rescued from Sabaody. I believe his name was Bart. Pirate Captain Bart. He could have been something special. I was hoping that maybe Bart was going to show off why he was an infamous pirate and why Law even gave a shit. It seems like his crew is part of like this, lost misfits that were like slaves or were being threatened by the world government or other pirates, and Law happened to be around at the time, and he was like, you know what? You come on and join my crew. Not as bad as Luffy, where he'll ask a living tree to join his crew that obviously looks like a zombie. But I could see Law saying, Law has a good heart. There's a reason it's called the Heart Pirates. And I think that Law wants the rest of the crew on his, squad to not only respect him, but also work hard. And the idea of recruiting former slaves, they'll be happy to do anything else. But obviously, I'm sure if he was like, hey Bart, you want to join my crew instead of being a slave to the Celestial Dragons? And Bart's like, I really just want to go home. Will you let me out of this thing? I just want to go home. I'm sure Law would be like, all right, get out of here. I know how shitty life can be. You should know my backstory, Bart. But no, Bart did join them. There's a chance that we could develop Bart, but we didn't do it at Wano, and that seemed like the only opportunity. There was a chance that we could develop Beppo, and I think that chance has faded. Zoe, where he is from, would have been a great place to do it. They could have shown him fighting Jack if they happened to show up when Jack was there. They could have had Beppo be the one to beat Jack. That would have been cool. I don't think that Cat Viper or Dogstorm needed that win in any way, shape, or form. I don't. I really don't. I can't remember which one even fought him. I think it was Dogstorm that fought Jack, and it didn't help either of them. It showed us that those older samurai minks are strong, but it didn't help the future generation like Beppo. Now, it really does feel that Law, in his popularity and whatnot, and his badass devil fruit ability is truly carrying his entire crew. Law could literally just be like Hawkeye Mihawk and run around and just be like, hey, I'm a single pirate, like, I don't need a crew because I'm that awesome. And obviously, he can teleport from place to place. He pretty much just has a crew to run and keep up his submarine. I would love to see a little bit more backstory for Law. Maybe some more developments for his crew members we just never get time with, because there's just so many moving parts in One Piece. It's understandable. I'm not mad at it. I just wish we could know more about Beppo and Bart. That's all. That's all I want as a fan. I'm just kidding. Law's amazing, and I do think he's going to have a major part to play at the end of the series. Obviously, there's the surgery they spoke of back at Dressrosa that our boy Doflamingo was so into. The idea of giving somebody eternal life in exchange for your own seems like a smoking gun that will pay off by the end of the series that I'm very excited to see, but at the same time, I don't want to see Law die. He deserves a happy ending. I am here for the idea of Law ending up with somebody like Nico Robin. They both have had really shitty beginnings in life. I don't know the best. They have some of the best backstories, is what I'm trying to say. The saddest backstories. They've been through some shiz. They grew up on the run. They've had to fight their entire lives to survive. They would be a great couple. I just want Nico Robin to be happy, and I want Law to be happy. I think he's a character that deserves a happy ending. He's been through some shiz. He's not the character I want to see give up his life, so someone like, maybe for Luffy, maybe at the final hour when Luffy dies for reals, he could give up his life and bring Luffy back and give him eternal life, and then Luffy can be the god of the world. He could be the Nika fruit user forever, the joy boy of the One Piece world, saving everybody, the freer, the breaker of chains. Luffy, king of the pirates, thanks to Law's sacrifice. I'm here for that. I don't want to see Law die, but that's the only way I'd be okay with it, personally, as a fan of his and this series. This is Morfanime. What did you think of my theories? What do you think's going to happen to Law? What's next for Law? That's the best I can do here. I'll talk to you later. There's no doubt, the pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.